Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Armourer's Bench. Today we're going to take a look at the SAR-80. The SAR-80's story begins in the early 1970s, when Frank Waters, the Sterling Armaments Company's chief designer, began developing a 5.56 by 45mm rifle for foreign military sales. While two initial prototypes were produced, the project lapsed when Sterling secured a license to manufacture Armalite's AR-18. In the late 1970s, however, the project was resurrected, and in 1977, two prototypes were sent to Chartered Industries of Singapore, or CIS, who were seeking a 5.56 rifle to produce for export in order to sustain small arms production at their factory. The initial prototypes reportedly suffered from issues with obturation with some cartridges, and Sterling engineers worked to rectify this, with another batch of half a dozen prototypes being sent to CIS in late 1977. CIS produced their first pre-production batch of prototypes in 1978 for testing with the Singapore Army. CIS opted for a plastic buttstock and redesigned the handguards too. The rifle was initially described as the Sterling Light Automatic Rifle, and later as the Sterling Combat Rifle. However, as it finally entered production, it became known as the Singapore Assault Rifle 80, or the SAR-80. The first SAR-80s were delivered to the Singapore Armed Forces in early 1981 for troop trials. Faults with these early production rifles included poor fit and finish, and extractors which bent, leading to extraction and ejection issues. Refinements were made to rectify these faults, and subsequent production runs had improved reliability. The SAR-80 can be described as a clone of the AR-18, with their internals being almost identical. The rifle is gas-operated with a short-stroke gas piston and a rotating bolt. The bolt has 7 locking lugs. The internal mechanics of the rifle are more or less identical to the AR-18, using dual recoil springs and a rectangular bolt carrier. The bolt geometries differ slightly to the AR-18's, and the SAR-80 has an additional weight inside of its bolt. This adds mass and helps slow down the rate of fire by about 150 rounds per minute to the vicinity of 600 rounds per minute. Like the AR-18, its charging handle is attached directly to the bolt carrier and is reciprocating. The rifle fed from standard Stanag magazines and is select fire with a selector on the left side of the rifle and a magazine release on the right. The selector layout is modelled after the M16's, and the front handguards design was also influenced by the M16. The SAR-80 has a simple stamped receiver similar in profile to the AR-18's, and it has a crackle paint finish like that seen on commercial Sterling submachine guns. It has a 2-position rear folding peep sight and is 97 cm or 38 inches long. It weighs 3.7 kilograms or 8.2 pounds unloaded, although according to CIS's own literature, the rifle was said to weigh 7.5 pounds. The SAR-80 had a bayonet lug just beneath its adjustable gas block, and mounted an M16 pattern bayonet. Other accessories included a scope mount, bipod, and a blank firing adapter, and a folding stock variant was also available. Sadly, I didn't have a chance to strip the rifle, but here you can see the hammer going forward against the bolt carrier, inside the receiver. It's worth noting that this rifle doesn't have the sliding dust cover seen on other examples, and the charging handle slot is completely open. Developed with cost in mind, contemporary literature from CIS states an export price of around $300 per rifle. Today, that's the equivalent of about $930. CIS produced more than 80,000 of the rifles between 1980 and 1988. It saw only limited service with Singapore's military, who continued to use the M16S1 and later transitioned to the SAR-21 bullpup rifle, which we'll have a video on in the future. The SAR-80 did enjoy some export sales and have been seen in the Central African Republic, arming the gendarmerie. The Croatian Army and the Papua New Guinea Defence Force, as well as the Slovenian Territorial Army, have also been seen using the rifle. CIS replaced the SAR-80 with the SR-88, another rifle co-developed with Sterling as the SAR-87, but this proved unsuccessful and has since been superseded by the SAR-21. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this look at the SAR-80, an interesting AR-18 clone that we don't see very often. From handling the weapon, I thought it was relatively handy and lightweight, but its features now somewhat dated, based largely on a rifle developed in the late 1960s. I didn't get a chance to fire the rifle, but the reported 600 rounds per minute rate of fire would suggest that it would be quite controllable in fully automatic. Ergonomically, the rifle is comfortable, taking cues from the M16A1 and its triform handguard. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Special thanks also to Battlefield Vegas for allowing us access to their armory, and massive thank you to their staff for allowing me to take a look at some of their small arms. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Sharing the video is essential, as YouTube's algorithm is sadly somewhat opposed to recommending our videos. If you really enjoy our content, please consider supporting us over on Patreon. We have perks and regular updates over there. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.